What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLorean here. Got today a brand new video. Today what I want to do is break down the absolutely insane and terrifying opening minutes to The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 3, Hunted. Now, as we already know and stuff that I have mentioned in past videos and everything, is Episode 3 will take place right after the events of Episode 2 when our group is ambushed on the road or highway by the Reapers. And before I do get into talking about strictly the opening minutes, I did want to say, for some unknown reason, The Walking Dead does not officially, upload the opening minutes anymore to, to the episodes, so I have to rely on other channels to upload the opening minutes to each episode. And I can't confirm to you guys that these are strictly the opening minutes and everything, but they will offer spoilers and everything to some deaths that will happen in the opening. Only some, so not the complete episode of deaths. But if you do not want some of these deaths spoiled for you and everything, then do click off the video now and everything. And let's hop right into the breakdown this absolutely insane opening minutes and everything. So essentially in this opening minutes and everything, our characters are running for their fucking lives while trying to help their wounded friends and everything and other fellow survivors, because the Reapers did ambush our group on the highway and everything, and they did not miss any of their shots and everything. They are very accurate, like I mentioned before in previous videos, military trained, and they are not gonna fucking miss their shots. So our group is pretty much running for their lives and everything, all it almost seems in this opening minutes that it's every man for themselves and everything, because all of our people are running around and everything and trying to practically retreat away from the Reapers, who are practically running all over the woods and everything, the military and everything, hiding in trees, throwing knives, shooting bows and arrows, and using melee weapons such as knives, these creative as fuck weapons that are just so weird. So like I said, this takes place right after the events of episode 2 and everything, where our group is ambushed on the highway by the Reapers. So as we know in the last episode and everything, as our characters got taken out on the highway and everything, only some of them, Maggie, Daryl, and a bunch of others, split into the woods and everything on the highway and everything, and everyone's at the moment all split up and running, like I said, every man for themselves. We do get to see people like Maggie and everything inside the woods, and she does look mind fucked and everything, and mind boggled about what's happening, because obviously the Reapers did destroy and kill a lot of her people, back in her place of Meridian and other places, and the Reapers have been hunting her, so she probably has PTSD, city of catalogs in her mind of horrible shit that the Reapers done. So she's probably flipping out right now, especially that the Reapers have caught them off guard and have killed some already key characters and everything, and are very skilled fighters, which Maggie does know, which is probably why she looks very stunned. I also do wonder why Maggie does look very overlate, unrealistically in this scene, and I think it's very, very weird in my opinion. She just looks very overlaid. I thought that the Reapers are gonna use the strategy that our group did use on the Saviors when they invaded Hilltop and everything, and that they're gonna shine bright car lights and everything to fuck with their heads, but that doesn't look to be the case in this opening minutes so far. And what's very weird is as Maggie's sitting on the ground practically having this mind fuck and everything, the character Duncan runs behind her and everything, and I'm not sure why she's on the ground, maybe having a panic attack, yet again PTSD, but Duncan runs behind her and everything, which was a character introduced in episode 1, or I think back in season 10C, but he was such a good character and everything in episode 1, 2, and 3, and he actually seems like a really cool character. But he essentially screams behind her, run, practically every man for themselves, as the Reapers are chasing all our group through the woods and everything, and these Reapers are running through the woods and everything, kind of like Maggie mentioned in episode 1, these people, the Reapers, they'll kill you before you even know they're around and everything. From the second you see them, you are already dead, which seems to be what they're doing. And Duncan's one of the first we see that are just running through the woods and everything, in different directions, every man for themselves style. We get to see people like Daryl, Alden, Negan, Duncan, Maggie, and a ton of other people in our group practically, and this is a very brutal scene because the Reapers are just taking out key characters one by one, injuring them possibly fatally or non-fatally, but really injuring them, as we do see as we get further into these opening minutes and everything, because we see people like Daryl, Alden, Maggie, Duncan, and everyone's running, and it's clearly yet again an all, I'm saying this so many times, but it's clearly an every man for themselves situation, because everyone's so fucking scared and they were so surprised and everything. The Reapers did really pull off a good strategy of surprise attacking our group on the highway when they least expected in our group, and everyone's just mind fucked. No one can think clearly because the Reapers are so quick and stealth, and like I said, they do have military training and strategies and everything. They're really good as a group. But as we do get further into this trailer, we do see that they are also very brutal and do not give a fuck about their, like, you know, anyone but in their group. So as we go through the multitude and everything, or magnitude of people running, we do get to see Alden does get, like, you know, a throwing knife or, like, you know, possibly a sickle to his, like, you know, his like shoulder, which, like I said, it's so weird to see all these people getting injured and everything so quickly. Because here's the thing, The Walking Dead has a tendency of usually just killing 1 or 2 characters an episode, but that's usually every, like, you know, season. Like, you know, we'll lose like 2 big characters, or it's maybe, like, you know, every few episodes we'll get, like, you know, a nameless character and everything. But in here, they're like, they're going in, no fucks given, and truly, like, you know, injuring and fucking up a lot of our, like, you know, main characters, which is why this is so, like, interesting to me. Because we see Alden, like I said, and everything, getting, like, you know, a knife and throwing knife to the shoulder blade. Maggie's all, like, you know, mentally fucked up and everything because she's probably so scared. And we also get to see Daryl dodge, like, you know, a sickle and everything to the fucking head, which, like, you know, could go off and, like, you know, hit anybody for all we know. Which I feel like Daryl didn't really get hurt and everything in this scene, since, like, you know, he got very fucked up during, like, you know, the Whisper arc and everything with his, like, you know, battle with Alpha and everything and all that. So I feel like they're kind of leaving him alone for, like, you know, possibly further into the season. And we get our first official death of the opening minutes and everything, which, like I said, it's insane to see in an opening and everything for someone to already get cut off. So in the previous episode, episode 2 and everything, like I said, like, you know, the events that will lead into this episode and everything, we did get to see our group get ambushed on the highway, and the 2 people that die was, I forgot what his one name is and everything is, but he did have, like, you know, an eye patch, and he was heavily wounded in episode 2 and everything. We also did get to see Cole get practically, I think, a sickle or a huge knife to his, like, you know, leg and everything, to the point where he couldn't walk, and yet again was probably so stunned, just like Maggie and everyone else, like, because the Reapers just surprised attacked them. And like I said, it's every man for themselves and everything, and some people trying to help people and everything, but Elijah and some other characters and I think did try to, like, you know, pull, like, you know, Cole off the highway. But yet again, people are probably trying to, like, you know, Elijah might be trying to defend Cole and everything, while the other person's also trying to defend Cole. But the Reapers are so quick running through the woods that unfortunately the character Cole and everything is the first to get, like, you know, cut and everything in this episode, as a Reaper does pull like, you know, Cole's head and everything and slices his throat open with some, like, amazing effects and everything. But like I said, it's so stunning because we get, like, you know, so many main and big characters that were built really well in, like, you know, episodes 1 and 2 just killed and everything. Like I said, The Walking Dead has a tendency to not really negatively affect our main characters physically in, like, you know, this, like, you know, short of a time span of just an opening minutes and the back half of episode 2 and everything. So it's absolutely insane and very interesting as a Walking Dead fan to see them trying something new but extremely brutal, especially with the Reapers, since the Reapers, like I said, have no fucks given for, like, human life and everything. And it's not even enough that Cole died and everything, they had to go and do that to us and everything, because I did like Cole, but Duncan also gets like 50 throwing knives thrown at him, like, yet again, like, every man for themselves running in the woods and everything as the Reapers are fucking them up. And during this opening minutes, our group will probably be so flashbanged by the Reapers and everything and not even know what the fuck is going on, that they'll try to fight or run, or they'll probably just die because they'll be so fucking stunned, as you do get demonstrated by, like, a ton of characters already getting wounded and, like, you know, killed in this opening minutes. And Duncan does get a ton of, like, throwing knives thrown to him and everything, like, you know, through his back and everything, and he turns around all this, like, shit. It's like, come on, man, not Duncan. He's actually a cool fucking character. But we do get to see Negan of all people and everything, run past Duncan, not even try to help him. Practically, like, you know, Duncan even almost falls on him and he dodges him, because, like I said, this is strictly every man for themselves and everything in this. And while Negan runs past Duncan, he gets a fucking tomahawk or, like, a knife and everything to, like, the leg, and he screams in pain. But he takes out the knife like a G and everything, and, like, I'm assuming uses it in battle against the Reapers, or tries to do best what he can. But like I said, they're, like, giving no fucks about our characters and everything. They are truly going in and giving our characters injuries and making it truly interesting and something new for us as fans, but also giving that kind of weight, as I did see in a tweet, I think, by the Walking Dead World and everything, is that he doesn't want, like, you know, them to treat our characters so softly in season 11 and truly give our characters a true punch and everything, and make it, like, you know, no boundaries, and make everyone open to death, which is truly what they're doing in this episode so far, just by the opening minutes. Is Negan getting fucked. Negan of all people. Like, you know, we got, you know, Cole, who died, who I guess isn't too big of a character, has only been around for, like, you know, a few episodes and everything. Duncan got a few, like, you know, knives to him and everything, but, like, you know, he might be able to survive, but yet he's been around for a few episodes. Alden got a fucking throwing knife to, like, you know, the shoulder blade and everything, but he's been in, like, around since, like, season, what, like 8? So he's a big one, but yet again, so, like, to the shoulder blade, he could survive it. But then Negan of all people, and I think it's a fucking, like, you know, throwing knife to the leg and everything, and screams in pain. They were truly giving no fucks about our characters and everything. This was an extremely terrifying and badass opening minutes to show that The Walking Dead is not giving a fuck about our main characters, which is not a bad thing. Like I said, it's truly interesting how now they're like, being super brutal and truly introducing how brutal and murderous and psychotic and terrifying the Reapers can be, and also showing off the Reapers' skills and battle strategies, and how the Reapers, Maggie did say there's not a lot of them or anything, and as we did see them marching down the highway and everything, there's not a lot of them compared to our massive group of Hilltop, Kingdom, Alexandria, and all of them, which will most likely mean at the end of this battle, the Reapers will probably come out on top and wounding and killing up a ton of our characters, and probably most likely only one Reaper will be killed in this battle in the woods and everything. Only one Reaper, because there's so little of them, but they're so highly trained, and they practically got a really good jump on our main characters. And as we've seen from these opening minutes, lots of our characters will be wounded, stunned, every man running for themselves to be hugely disorganized by our group. But yeah, that was the opening minutes and everything. Absolutely fucking insane. Like I said, they truly are showing how brutal the Reapers can be, and how they're not leaving any plot armor on our characters and anything. They're truly going all in this one episode. Something that I did forget to mention that was in this opening minutes that I also mentioned in my trailer breakdown was in these opening minutes we also do get to see Gabriel get his throat slit. And like I said in my trailer breakdown, it's not a fatal slit and anything. It's like a gash or a tiny cut on his neck and everything by one of the Reapers, which does make you wonder, will they come back around for more from Gabriel? And also we do get to see Daryl and everything, who practically runs off with Dog and everything. Like I said, every man for themselves and everything, and he looks horrified at what's going on and everything. He doesn't even know what the fuck to do. He's completely in autopilot. And obviously the Reapers aren't gonna go away just for the first half of they're gonna be around for at least the first quarter, I guess, part 1 of season 11 or anything. I have 3. They're gonna be around for almost that entire part 1, and they're not gonna go out easily. But yeah, that was my breakdown and kind of a discussion about the opening minutes to episode 3 of season 11 of The Walking Dead Hunted. This episode premieres this Sunday at 9 p.m. and everything. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and everything, because I do live tweet during the episodes and everything. I do have discussions during the episodes and even after the episode. And yeah, that was my breakdown for yet again this insane opening minutes. I still can't believe it's such an insane opening minutes. I will make sure to link it down below so you guys go take a look at it and anything for yourselves, because I do highly recommend it, because it is absolutely insane. It is fucking insane, man. So yeah, that was all for today, and make sure to stick around for some more videos like this and anything, more breakdowns, theory videos, and reviews for the Walking Dead episodes, the latest Walking Dead episodes, the latest Walking Dead news. So yeah, make sure to stick around and anything. And yep, I'll see you guys later, amigos, and peace out.